Bitcoin only has a price, doesn't have value. Price is something that you pay, right? Value is something that you get. When you buy Bitcoin, you pay a price, but you get no real value. And now I agree, the price of Bitcoin has gone way up from when it was first started, where you could get multiple Bitcoins for a fraction of a penny or a dollar, whatever. They started next to nothing. And at one point, people were paying almost $70,000 for a Bitcoin.
Peter Schiff, CEO of Euro-Pacific Capital and a longtime Bitcoin critic, predicts a global shift from fiat currencies to digital alternatives. Schiff believes that digital gold may be one of the options embraced by global economies, but he remains skeptical about Bitcoin's potential to become a mainstream digital currency. While some compare Bitcoin to gold and tout it as the ultimate store of value, Schiff contends that Bitcoin is underperforming against gold despite the recent spike in its prices. Despite reaching an all-time high of nearly $69,000 in April 2021, the cryptocurrency has experienced setbacks in recent months with a significant drop in value. As Schiff mentioned earlier, that recently ChatGPT Picks Gold over Bitcoin, stating that gold is a tangible asset that is considered a safe haven investment during times of economic uncertainty. The bot contrasted the historic money with Bitcoin, which is not backed by any physical asset or government and is considered by many to be a speculative investment. According to Schiff, people will start transacting in digital gold either through blockchain technology or private companies tokenizing the metal. Eventually, I think the world will move away from fiat currencies, and I think a lot of people will start transacting in gold again. I know there are some people out there that think they're going to use Bitcoin. That ain't going to happen, Schiff said. Before proceeding further in this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button below for more recent updates.
Looking at Bitcoin, look, Bitcoin did an excellent job of replicating the qualities that gold has that made it better money than, cattle, or salt or, other commodities that have been money, right? Gold has certain properties, and Bitcoin, captured those properties. But the most important property of all is gold's metallic properties, gold as a commodity. Bitcoin has none of that. And so Bitcoin, just like a fiat currency, what gives a fiat currency its value? Just confidence. People just believe that it has value. They believe that people will accept it. Now, part of that belief is driven by governments, which declare it legal tender and which require it for payment of taxes. And so there is some real demand for dollars if you live in America. There's a demand for euros if you're in Europe, because you have to pay taxes. And if you don't pay taxes, they could put you in jail. And so in order to avoid jail, you need the currency that the government demands. But Bitcoin is similar to fiat in that all of its value comes from faith and confidence. People just believe that people in the future will want it and they'll pay a higher price for it, except there is no legal currency status. There is no government, really, maybe other than El Salvador. I don't know what's going on over there, but there's no government that is accepting tax payments in Bitcoin. So there's no natural demand other than the speculative demand from people who think they're going to get rich. I mean, people who buy Bitcoin are buying it because they expect the price to go up. And the people who buy it from them thinks the price is going to go up. So it's this greater fool theory that the price is going to go up, and that's what's driving people to buy it. It's very cumbersome if you want to use it as a medium of exchange or a unit of account. It's too volatile to be a unit of account. It's too expensive to be a medium of exchange, and it can't be a store of value. So it's not gold. It's digital fool's gold. But you hit the nail on the head when you talked about a crypto that's actually backed by gold. That works. That solves all the problems that Bitcoiners claim gold has. That, well, I can't send my gold around the world. I can't use my gold to buy a cup of coffee. Well, yes, you can. It's a lot better than Bitcoin. If I have gold stored with any third party, it could be a government, it could be a private company, it could be anybody. You could tokenize that gold and have a Bitcoin, similar cryptocurrency, that is a digital representation of that actual gold. It's like a warehouse receipt, an IOU for gold.
Central banks around the world are divesting dollars, and they are building up their gold reserves. That's why you don't have a lot of downside risk in the price of gold. There are too many buyers beneath the market looking to buy, and they will take advantage of any opportunities. The price of gold is on the verge of surpassing a multi-year resistance level at $2,000, which Peter Schiff believes could trigger a significant surge in value. Schiff, a renowned critic of Bitcoin, has been a vocal advocate of gold as a superior store of value. He often advises investors to diversify their portfolios with the precious metal, citing its historical stability and reliability as a long-term investment.
First of all, the demand that is mainly coming in cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, is to get rich, right? People want to buy Bitcoin because they think it's going to go to the moon. And so that's really the demand for cryptocurrencies. It's not to have an alternative as a medium of exchange and as a unit of account. Most people that are buying Bitcoin, they still use dollars or euros or pounds in their transactions. They just hoard their Bitcoin because they think they're going to get rich. And so there's no real demand yet for a cryptocurrency that's backed by gold to be used as a medium of exchange. People are still content to use their fiat currencies for that role. But I think that once this crypto bubble really pops and the losses, stack up and people get burned and they're no longer interested in these get rich quick schemes, and they really start to focus on an alternative, not to get rich, but to preserve what they have, right? Because that's what gold is, right? Physical gold is not about getting rich. It's about avoiding becoming poor. It's about avoiding the inflation tax. And so I think as the inflation rates get worse throughout the world, there will be more of a demand for an alternative medium of exchange to these fiat currencies that can.
Gold is in a bull market in every single currency on the planet. So, whatever currency you're looking at, if you compare it to gold, gold is still better. The Schiff echoed his take that current iterations of crypto have no future and will eventually run out of fools. Instead, the metals investors sees the sector's prospects in gold-backed cryptocurrencies whose value is tied to the current market price of gold. Schiff said fiat tokens like Bitcoin that are just conjured into existence and have no real value other than something that you could trade and gamble on, but eventually you run out of fools. The future of blockchain and cryptocurrency appears promising, but according to a financial commentator who frequently denounces Bitcoin for its perceived absence of intrinsic value, the Bitcoin will not be a part of it. Instead, he envisions the future of the sector as gold-backed cryptocurrencies.
It's an improvement on paper money because, again, initially, paper money came as a substitute for gold. I had my gold stored with a blacksmith, and instead of lugging my gold around, my blacksmith gave me an IOU, and then I can circulate that IOU because everybody knows the gold is there, and instead of having to get it, they just circulate the IOU in a paper terms. Well, it's much more efficient to do it crypto, digitally, and you can take an ounce of gold or a gram of gold and divide it to tiny little pieces so that I could buy a cup of coffee and pay the barista with my gold using the token. And it would be faster and cheaper than Bitcoin. And the difference is when I'm paying with gold, I'm paying with something real. I'm getting one commodity for another. I'm getting coffee and the guy that sold me coffee is getting gold. And you can actually denominate the price in gold because gold is stable. I mean, it can function much better as a monetary instrument.
According to Peter Schiff, the increase in gold prices can be attributed to the widespread belief that inflation will persistently remain high. Schiff's pessimistic stance on Bitcoin's potential to serve as a mainstream digital currency aligns with his well-established reservations about the first cryptocurrency. He has consistently advised investors to divest their Bitcoin holdings, arguing that the cryptocurrency is likely to experience a significant correction to zero. On this note, we conclude our video. Do you agree with Peter Schiff's perspective about Bitcoin and gold trend and cryptocurrency performance? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you found this information helpful, and like this video and subscribe to our channel, we will bring you more updates in the future.